Beech Grove. And at this time, we will convene our Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. At this time, I will introduce our board members. To my far right, Dave Harrison. To my immediate right, Dan McMillan, our clerk treasurer. To my immediate left, Craig Wiley, our city attorney. To my far left, Sandra Seward, also a member of this board. You have been presented with the minutes for review, and at this time I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Move on to approval of claims. First group of claims are the manual corporation claims, which do not require board approval prior to being paid. Tonight we have 5 pages in the amount of $877,561.60. At this time, the floor is open for comment or questions.
Yeah. So, on the page, was it 5? Bank of New York.
Bank of New York, Mellon.
Yeah, Mellon. There's 2 on there. 2 pretty good sized ones.
Okay. You want me to explain it to him?
I'll read the amounts and I'll defer to the clerk. One of them is for $701,621, and the other one is $71,204. And at this time, I'll defer to our clerk.
Okay, this is our tax anticipation warrant. This is the first time we've ever done this like this. Instead of waiting until the last day of the year, we're paying a portion of it off in the end of June, and then the remainder, which will be about 1.6 million, will be paid the last day of the year. The $701,621, that's the principal. The interest on that is $3,041.53. This is actually broke down into 3 parts. The 5808, that is fire pension that was in that tax anticipation warrant, and the interest on that was $25.18. And then the last part of it was debt service. The principal was $71,204, and the interest was $308.67. It just is a little bit easier way for us. The previous councils have wanted to do this, and it's never been done. This way here, you don't have to come up with as much money at the end of the year, and have a little better understanding as to where you're at by doing it this way. Plus, we got a tremendous interest rate. It was just barely over 1%, 1.05% by doing it like this.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would, when I was reviewing it again today, I was commending the clerk's office and his staff for doing it this. We've done really well the first 5 months for being conservative, and by doing this, this helps us at the end of the year. And there's a couple of things that we'll do further that will help us to get through the first of next year. So this was some pretty good work, and I really appreciate the efforts made by Dan and his group over there. It's good. So any other questions or comments from board members on manual claims?
Comments?
At this time, I'll ask for a motion to approve the manual corporation claims as presented.
Make a motion to approve as presented?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Move on to regular corporation claims. This evening, 5 pages in the amount of $41,914.82. Floor is open for question or comment.
Page 2. Crossroads, the 3rd one up. Is that just ongoing, that like the sewer, or?
No, it's it's $10,165, and that is towards the Main Street project. It's ongoing, and you'll start to see more of these as we get closer to the project starting.
Okay.
So
and one more on that, Crossroads right underneath that for $551.73. It's actually for the roundabout. And the only reason why I bring that up is ordinarily, we get reimbursed by the city of Indianapolis. They still owe us money. And then in turn, we would always pay Crossroads when we got paid. What I'm actually doing now, this is being paid before we actually get the money.
Okay.
And, anyway, because it was a smaller amount, instead of us looking like we're, holding them out for their money. And, Indianapolis will reimburse us for that.
I think the one thing that bothers me about all of this is we are still getting bills from 2010 and 2011 that were not paid in a timely fashion. So the clerk's office has to deal with that on an ongoing basis, and it's really not very fair. But it's happening, and it continues to happen, so.
Those unpaid charges is this what this reflects?
Well, yes and no. This we knew because of it being the roundabout project, that this is the way this would work. But we got a bill in, which Dennis is referring to, last week one day. It was for $27,000, and it was for the rock pile, and it was from 2010, 2011. It's the first time I've ever seen a bill from them. And so, needless to say, at the end of the year, we'll have to try to encumber some of these funds, but the time limit has elapsed for us to do it against the 2011 budget.
Thank you.
Any other questions from board members?
I have none.
If there's no further questions or comments, I'll ask at this time for a motion to approve the regular corporation claims.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. There's no old business to carry over from last meeting. Under new business, recommendation of employment from the fire department chief.
Mayor, Board of Works and Safety. I'm recommending the board that the fire department be allowed to hire Christopher Van Roo as firefighter. Christopher has completed all aspects of the written and physical testing and has been approved by PERF. With your approval, Christopher will begin his employment with the city on June 25th. His position fills an opening due to the retirement of firefighter Bruce Lee.
Thank you, chief. Comments by board members?
None.
And this is not new, this is a replacement.
This is a replacement. If you recall back to April's meeting, we approved for the hiring of two firefighters, replacement of Bruce Lee and Don Oakley. The replacement for Don Oakley is currently in the works. Candidate Ryan Madigan, and he's currently going through his public safety medical testing next week. So we just have to stagger them out. We ran into some issues with the second candidate.
Thank you. If there's no further comments by board members or questions, I'll ask for a motion to approve the chief's recommendation.
Make a motion to approve chief's recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Chief, while you're up there, can you update us on the weather, please?
I'm update you on.
The weather?
Yes, I thought that was a trick question. Over the weekend, the fire department quit issuing special permits for outside wiener rows, hog rows, just due to the heat, the dry conditions we are currently under, and this is going on throughout the state. It's not here in Beech Grove. On Saturday, our fire department responded to several grass fires in the city, and it was a direct result of open burning. So as now we are not allowing the open burning within the city.
And we're still, we talked about it this morning, we're still out on the July 3rd fireworks.
Correct. Right now, our contingency plan is to have the area watered down prior to the setup. And we're going to be very diligent to watch the weather, the conditions, recommendations from the state also. But we're going to work very hard to make sure the shoot goes off successful without any risk to the public.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief, how's our fire trucks holding up since we've had several grass fires? Do we have a contingency plan for the fireworks?
Yes, I'm not sure if you're aware, but on June 5th, Engine 101, our apparatus is 10 years old, had to go back to Global for the transfer case. We had another issue with it. It was leaking fluid around the gasket. So when that vehicle was up at Global, they also found an issue with the engine where it had to be sent to Clark Diesel. That apparatus was out of service for 5 days. During that time, we had our reserve engine, our 25-year-old engine, in service, and the pump went out. We had serious issues with the pump. It had to be sent to Donnelly Fire Apparatus to get fixed. During that time, our crews ran out of an Indianapolis fire engine, which was about 17 years old. It was a loaner apparatus, and our crews had it for about 5 days. And so that was your primary mode of fire protection, was someone else's fire equipment, 17 years old, that we have no control over the maintenance, upkeep of that engine. So just by luck, it served our needs, and we're gracious that they lent it to us, but that's what we worked with. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Chief, could you come up and update us on the IDAX situation, please?
If you're familiar with this, the IDEX is our computer information that the police get back as far as individuals and vehicles. Lawrence is still doing our IDEX entries and checks until June 25th, when they're going to stop doing it. We're working with Speedway to get an agreement with them. I was told that their council's meeting tonight, that hopefully they'll approve our request for their assistance. Their chief is pretty positive that they'll be able to do that for us. So should be able to know by tomorrow if that's going to happen.
Also, can we talk a little bit about drug overdoses?
We have had 2 deaths of younger people. I think they're in their 20s, and both of them are believed to be drug overdoses, one on the west side of the city and one just on Main Street.
It's very alarming, but I think it's important that we talk about it and let the people know what's going on.
And our narcotics officer who works with the DEA, he's been pretty active in Beech Grove, fielding a lot of calls from our drug tip line. He gets assistance from the DEA and the officers that are assigned to that. So it's good that he's there, and he's getting help from other agencies to check these tips and do investigations.
And the auction.
The auction we had a week ago on a Saturday went real well. Everything was sold except for one bicycle, and I don't know why it was a pretty junky bike, but it pretty successful. Had a lot of people there. The fire department had a booth there also, and everybody seemed pretty cooperative. The auctioneer, Mike Heimel, he was happy with the results, and he was appreciative that we had him do it. And sometime this week, he'll settle up with the city as far as the amount that the city's going to get.
And what would be the plans for that?
Some of the money will go back to our CIF fund, and we plan on buying a couple of vehicles. One of them will be for one of our canine officers. The other one will be for our animal control officer. Their vehicles, the canine officer, he's had some maintenance problems, and our animal controls, his vehicle's a 99.
Very good. Very good. Thanks, Chief. couple of updates under new business. Also, at this time, we'll move on to a block party, July the 4th on North 7th. This was the exact same letter that was presented at our last meeting that was approved for July the 3rd. The lady who submitted the letter had the wrong date. So what we should do is withdraw the approval of the July 3rd block party, and I'll read this letter that has the correct date, and then we'll move to approve it. The residents of 7th Street from Bethel to Cleveland are requesting a block party on July the 4th from 12:30 to 6:30 p.m. Last year, the street department provided barricades, and we are asking for them to do it again this year. If you have any questions, I can be reached at the following number. Sincerely, Jackie Rush. So I would ask for a motion to approve this for July the 4th.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye. Next order of business is a request for a block party on July the 7th on North 6th. And I'll read this. Hi, my name is Ashley Hebner, and I live at 80 North 6th Avenue in Beech Grove. I am requesting to have a block party on my street on Saturday, July the 7th, following the 4th of July holiday from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. We would need 6 barricades to block off the street. Please let me know if this can be approved by the city. Thank you for your time. This is something that's done on the first block of North 6th every year, as long as I could ever remember. I live the next block, so I hear the repercussions, and sometimes we even go down there. So, and they have quite a display. So this is nothing unusual, and I'll ask for a motion to approve the recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Next order of business is a request for payment to Edwards Catering pursuant to the Mayor's Roundtable. On June the 21st, City of Beech Grove will be hosting the Indiana Mayor's Southern Roundtable, and that's all mayors south of Indianapolis to Kentucky. And with that, we provide lunch. So Edwards Catering is going to do the lunch, and their bill is $743,077.
$743.
$743.77.
One heck of a round table.
Eating good.
That's a lot of chocolate, Coach. And anyway, it's going to happen this Thursday, and they request payment when it's served. So we're falling in between claim cycles, so I'm asking that the board go ahead and approve this invoice, and then we will not pay it unless we are satisfied with their service. So I'll ask for a motion to approve this.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye. And just for further information, this is this being paid out of mayor's donations?
Yes, it is. It's not costing the taxpayer 1 penny. But in order to cut a check, the money goes into the general fund for donations, and there's a significant amount in there to more than cover that, so.
All right. Thanks, Dan. That concludes new business. Comments from board members?
I have none.
At this time, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Well, second.
Second. We will meet again on July the 2nd at 6 p.m. The meeting is adjourned, 6:27 p.m.